Hi, my name is Nicest. I'm a Canadian national chess master. Today I would like to show you one of my games I played in Hungary in 1996 against József Horváth. He was a very strong player, and that game is one of my best game I ever played in the Hungarian Championship because it's full with tactical things and a very nice way I push down my opponent during the game. So that's really one of the nicest game of me. So I was playing by black and he played d4. I played knight f6, he played knight f3, play positional in the opening. I played d5, he played g3, and then tried to put the bishop on the h1 and the a8 diagonal. And I played e6, I secured my d5 pawn, he played bishop g2. And I played here c5. C5, it's a very active move because right away in the opening I put pressure on the d4 pawn by my c5 pawn and later on with a knight from c6. He secured the pawn on d4 by playing c3. I played knight c6, increased the pressure against d4. He castled. I played bishop e7 and he played a3. a3, I don't think it's a fully good move, a3, because it's weakening down a couple of white squares in the queen side. So, but probably he was thinking about to playing b4 and start an action in the queen side. So I castled in this position. He played rook e1. And I put my knight to e4. On e4, I'm creating a very nice outpost for my knight, defended by my d5 pawn, and maybe later on I planned to play f5 and secure totally the outpost. The knight is controlling a lot of squares from e4, a lot of dark squares in the opponent position. So knight b to d2, and I played f5, secure the outpost. He played queen c2, and now I capture the pawn on d4. C takes d4, c takes d4. And I put my bishop on f6. And as you can see now, the pressure increasing against the d4. Now my bishop attacking d4 and my knight attacking d4 from c6 too. So he played in this position e3. But as you can see, then the white pieces, especially the bishops, they don't have the open diagonals. So I think my position is slightly already better here. So I finished the development by put my bishop out to d7. He played b4. That's why he played before a3, because he wanted to make a queenside action by b4. So I played rook c8. I placed my rook on the same file than my opponent queen standing on c2. So now my threat is to capture the d4 pawn or even the b4 pawn, because the queen gonna be under attack on c2. So the queen has to leave the c file, and he played queen b3. And I played a5. a5, I believe that it's a very interesting move, and it's a part of my plan, as you can see later on in the game. So he played knight takes e4. Knight takes e4, I believe that's already a mistake, because the white is taking away the pressure from the position. And after I captured with the f pawn, attack the knight on f3, the knight has to go back to d2. And now we are at a moment in the game when we can call this position the critical point of the game. When we play chess, every single game we have a critical point. When the position, if we placed our pieces on the board well and effectively, then we can use most of the time the tactic during the chess game. So I decided here that this is the time, so I sacrificed the piece and I took the pawn on d4 with my c6 knight. Knight c6 takes d4. So my opponent captured back with the e pawn, e takes d4, and I took with my bishop from f6. Bishop f6 takes d4. And now I have a threat. I created a double attack. My bishop attacking the a1 rook, and at the same time my bishop is attacking the f2 pawn with my rook from f8. So at the same time my opponent cannot defend these two threats. So if we think about the sacrifice I made, that I believed now as well, not just the time I played this game, that that sacrifice must be correct, must be good, because I got 2 pawns from my knight and also the activity. So my position remained very active. So my opponent play bishop b2, and I play here, except taking the pawn on f2, I played a4. And you can see now very clearly that that a5 move before was extremely useful, because now the pawn is attacking the queen on b3, and then the queen is not able to take the pawn because the bishop on b2 is hanging. So the only one way for the white queen is to defend the bishop if the bishop is going back to a2. Also, the queen not able to take the pawn because my bishop is defending as well too. So the queen went back to a2. Now the queen is out of game in a very passive situation. So this is helping for me to improve the position. When we have a good attacking position, always we should try to improve, try to find a way how we can improve actually the position. And that little a4 pawn move was improving my position very much, because now the white queen is really out of the action and in the passivity on the a2 square. So I now capture the f2 pawn and check and attack the rook on e1. So the king went to h1, and now I have the option to take the rook on e1 and go for material, but I believe that I should still think about how to improve my position. So I decided to bring more piece into the action. I played rook c2 in this position. So I created a pin to the queen, and also I attacked the knight on d2. So now the white has basically two options: retreat the knight somewhere or defending the knight on d2. So the white decided to put the even rook to d1, rook e to d1. And now I rolled on with attacking the white position, because as you can see, all of the white pieces is focusing on the queen side, and the white king is alone, lonely. So very quickly I can bring all of my pieces against the white king. So I decided to sacrifice another piece, and I took the bishop on g3. Bishop takes g3. What is the idea of that sacrifice? The idea is to open up the h-file, because if the white pawn from h2 capturing the bishop on g3, it's opening up the h-file, and the white king is getting in more danger. So my attackment is improving by this sacrifice. So he captured the bishop, h2 takes g3, and I played queen g5. So now I'm bringing my queen against the white king, probably on h6 on the h-file. Also, I put more pressure on the d2 knight, and now I attacking with a queen and the rook on c2. So my opponent decided to sacrifice back a partial of material and took the pawn on e4 with a knight. Knight takes e4. And now I, except taking back and losing time, I give the check on h2, queen h6, sorry, queen h6 check. So the king moved to g1 and queen e3 check. We might not see how important this check, but later on, after a couple of moves, we will see that how important to give this check. So the king has not too many options, went back to h1, and now I played rook f5 and creating another threat. So now the threat is to not less than rook h5 and then bishop h3, and then rook takes h3, and then the white king checkmated. So the only way is when the pawn is moving from g3 to g4 and stop the f5 rook to go to h5. So he played g4. And now I have a rook on c2, a queen on e3, and a rook on f5 into the attackment. So I decided to go on, and I made another sacrifice. I took the bishop, the only one piece who is defending the white king. So I played rook c2 takes g2, and the king must take it back, because if not, then in one move checkmate, queen h3 checkmate. So king takes g2. Now I captured the knight with a queen on e4. After king g3, I gave the check again on e3, and in this moment my opponent, József Horváth, master, he resigned the game, because after king g2, knight f2 check, following by queen g3, and checkmate in the next move. That game, I think, was very nice, full with tactical motives, and shows that if we place our pieces actively and effectively on the board, the pieces will say thank you, and most of the time we're gonna have the tactical sacrifice in the position, and we can win the game easily. So thank you for watching my video. Come back to my website. I'm gonna post more video about endgames in the future. Thank you very much. Bye bye.